Two. Give me two. That's good.
You know the walk, you know the suit, you know the moves. But what you don't know is how strange the story behind Saturday Night Fever really is.
Look at this. We don't love you, right?
You guys really, you really kick their ass.
Hey, come on, we got them where they breathe.
This 1977 disco drama wasn't just a movie. It was a cultural earthquake. It turned a music genre into a movement, made John Travolta a superstar, and gave us a soundtrack that still lives on. But behind the glitter ball, the platform shoes, and those pelvic thrusts lie some of the most bizarre, unexpected, and downright unbelievable stories in film history. Saturday Night Fever wasn't even meant to be about dancing at all. So put on your dancing shoes, dim the lights, and get ready for the top 10 strange but true facts. You won't believe about Saturday Night Fever? The movie was based on a 1976 magazine article titled "Tribal Rights of the New Saturday Night," a gritty look into Brooklyn's disco scene. But guess what? The whole thing was fake. The journalist Nick Cohn later admitted he made it up. He was new to America and didn't understand disco culture, so he invented characters and scenarios based on people he'd met in the UK. Yes, the foundation of one of the most iconic films of the 20th century was fiction pretending to be fact. Hollywood didn't blink. They bought the rights, made the film, and the rest is sparkling polyester history. Travolta trained like an Olympic athlete for the film. He rehearsed for 3 solid months, 6 days a week, often up to 5 hours a day, just for the dance scenes. And remember, this was on top of shooting Welcome Back, Kotter, at the same time. But when the film came out, some critics mocked his moves. One reviewer said he looked like he was fighting invisible bees. Clearly, they missed the point. Travolta's blend of awkward confidence and raw charisma captured something real and timeless. The Bee Gees even said they based the beat of their music on his dancing, not the other way around. You'd think a soundtrack this legendary took months to compose. Nope. The Bee Gees wrote most of the music in a single weekend. Producer Robert Stigwood called them up and said, "We're doing a disco movie. Got anything?" The Gibb brothers locked themselves in a French chateau studio and emerged with "Stayin' Alive," "Night Fever," and "More Than a Woman." None of them had even read the script, but the vibe was so strong it became the soul of the movie. Travolta said, "The music was the script." Believe it or not, some execs at Paramount thought Travolta wasn't big enough to carry the film. They wanted a more serious actor. Rumors say names like Richard Gere and even Sylvester Stallone were floated, but the director stuck to his guns. He saw Travolta's charm and swagger as the only way to make Tony Manero come alive. And when preview audiences saw Travolta do that strut, the doubters disappeared like fog under a disco ball. No joke. Early cuts of the film were nearly dance-free. The studio worried American audiences wouldn't sit through long dance sequences. They wanted to trim them down to focus on Tony's gritty home life. Director John Badham refused. He argued the dance floor was where Tony came alive. Without it, you just had a depressing family drama. Luckily, Badham won. And those dance scenes? They defined a generation. That white polyester suit? Iconic. But here's the twist. It wasn't custom fit. To get it to hug Travolta just right, costume designers secretly stitched elastic into the sides. It allowed full range of motion and made him look razor sharp on the floor. It's why he could spin, kick, and thrust without a single wrinkle. And that slick shoulder shimmy? Thank hidden tailoring. Today, Saturday Night Fever is remembered for disco and drama, but originally it was raw. The original cut was so gritty and language-heavy that the MPAA threatened an X rating. To avoid box office suicide, the studio trimmed language and violence, creating a theatrical R-rated version. But later, they released a PG version, cutting 8 minutes of footage. That's the one many younger viewers grew up watching on TV. Same strut, less grit. That glowing, color-changing floor at the 2001 Odyssey Club? It was real. and it nearly collapsed. Once the cast and extras started dancing full force, the crew noticed the floor dipping and flexing. They had to reinforce it mid-production with metal beams, or risk a catastrophic fall-through. No wonder everyone looked nervous under those lights. The club featured in the film was a real place, 2001 Odyssey in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. But success brought problems. After the movie, it became a hotspot for fights, drugs, and arrests. Eventually, police shut it down. The building was later turned into a warehouse, a temple of disco, lost to time. In 1995, Travolta donated his original white suit to the Smithsonian. But here's the kicker. Turns out he had two suits. The second one, still in his personal collection, kept in perfect condition. He once joked, "I don't wear it anymore, only on special disco emergencies." Saturday Night Fever wasn't just a movie. It was a movement. It made disco global, fashion iconic, and John Travolta immortal. But behind the lights and beats was a wild, strange story of fake articles, last-minute soundtracks, and studio panic. So, which fact surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments, and if you want to keep dancing through movie history, hit that like, subscribe, and bell. Because here at Real Truths, we always stay alive with the truth.